Please welcome to the stage, Alan Code.
So, welcome to day 2 of Next London. It's my great pleasure to be your host for the day. And Next, or Cloud Next, is all about bringing people together. And, you know, as my voice reminds me this morning, it's also about great conversations. And I've had so many great conversations over the last 48 hours. So please bear with me, and hopefully it stays with us throughout the day. So thank you, so many of you, for getting out bright and early this morning and joining us here. Also, welcome to the very many more folks who've joined us on the live stream. I want to thank our marquee sponsors, particularly, for their role in making this gathering happen. Accenture, Atos, Deloitte, and Intel. Now, day 2 is where we go deeper with the technology. And we have a jam-packed agenda for you. You know, as well as this keynote, we have labs, we have breakouts, we have dev zones, we have spotlights, all designed to help you get more hands-on with the technology. Now, our goal at Google Cloud is to be the trusted partner for your digital transformation. And yesterday, you heard our commitment to continuous innovation at literally all layers of the Google Cloud stack. At infrastructure level, we are pushing hard on 2 fronts, both geographically in terms of reach. We announced 5 new Google Cloud regions, including one here in Europe to serve our Eastern European customers from Warsaw. And we're also continuously investing in making Google Cloud the very best place to run your mission-critical enterprise workloads, including the big ones, Oracle, SAP, and VMware. And in that context, we announced yesterday the acquisition of Cloud Simple, very important technology to enable you to move your VM-based workloads to the cloud with a very minimum of retooling. Now, at the platform layer, we're laser-focused on bringing you world-beating capability to manage data and analytics at scale, to use the very latest machine learning and AI technologies, to consume supported open source, such as Mongo, Redis, data stacks, all on your Google bill. And we've seen huge demand for this. In fact, our colleagues at Mongo, I heard yesterday, used a figure that we had, in just 4 months, acquired, or we had over 1,000 new customers in common. So there's big demand for open source on Google Cloud. We're also working, above that we've got tools and capabilities to help you transform the way you work as well through our collaboration tools at G Suite. All of this, at the top layer then, we are working with our ecosystem partners, both our technology partners and our system integrated partners, to bring you repeatable solutions that tackle some of the most difficult problems for particular industry sectors. All of this underpinned by the things we feel very passionate about at Google. Openness, including open source, choice, resilience, security, the very best security, sustainability, and putting the customer at the heart of everything we do. So what's really exciting for us as Googlers is obviously to hear or to see all of this come together in great customer stories. And yesterday, we heard from Andy McGuinness and John Lewis, where he talked about how John Lewis partners have managed to get ahead of almost relentless change within the retail industry, where by bringing software development in-house, adopting cloud-native software development techniques and agile, so that they can deliver continuous innovation, moving from 10 releases or deployments of software annually to nearly 6,000 so far in 2019. Amazing change. WPP, we're going to hear more from today, but a very different challenge, how to bring together insights from 21 global agencies to be able to deliver millisecond insights and enabling more precise and impactful campaigns for their customers. And today, Just Eat have shared how they've used Google Cloud to reimagine their customer experience, to bring together structured and unstructured data, including menus from 112,000 restaurants, to create individual recommendations based on transaction history and preference for any one of their 27 million customers. So there's a theme here. And while cost and convenience have been very important drivers to the cloud before now, what we're seeing in these and many other customer stories is how companies are looking to Google Cloud for new capability, for game-changing new capability in some cases, such as machine learning and AI, that can really propel the outcomes and the change or the transformation for their businesses. So either through improved operations, through automation or predictive analytics, or as we've seen, through unlocking new sources of value and great new customer experiences. So it's a really interesting time to be in technology. It's a really great time to be in technology. It's a great time to be a consumer. But, and what I would encourage you as we get deeper on these great offerings today, also, can I encourage you to think about the impact that perhaps these technologies and services can have on your business and your industry. So let's get started. Hey Google, what's on the agenda today?
Today, we'll be talking about some exciting topics like modern infrastructure, smart analytics, AI and ML, and G Suite, including some announcements about me.
Cool. Okay, so let's make a start with the first step, how we're making it easier for enterprises to move to Google Cloud. And with that, I'm very pleased, and please join me in inviting to the stage our VP of Engineering, Brad Calder.
Thanks, Alan. Good morning, London. I'm excited to be back here to talk about how Google Cloud is helping enterprise companies complete their digital transformation journey. This morning, we'll show you how we made it easier for you to move to a modern, enterprise-friendly cloud infrastructure. We have customers like HSBC, PaymentSense, Atom Bank, who build on top of our infrastructure to run today's and tomorrow's workloads. And today, I'm going to double-click into 3 areas where we've focused our investment to help you take advantage of Google Cloud. This is migration, enterprise workloads, and networking. So let's start with migration. Many of you have VMware on-premise deployments. And as Thomas mentioned yesterday, we're excited to announce the acquisition of the company CloudSimple, a leading provider for running VMware workloads in the cloud. This acquisition allows us to accelerate our fully integrated VMware solution, so you'll now be able to easily migrate your existing VMware workloads right into Google Cloud and gain the performance, scale, and security benefits that Google Cloud has to offer. In other cases, you may want to migrate directly into Compute Engine to maximize performance or minimize costs. So to achieve that, we have Migrate for Compute Engine. This allows you to quickly and safely migrate workloads hosted on-premise, in AWS, or in Azure directly to Google Cloud. Migrate for Compute Engine eliminates a lot of the manual toil when migrating to the cloud. And as a result, it's helped our customers like Cardinal Health, Meditech eliminate hundreds of hours from their migration projects, allowing them to quickly realize the benefit of running in the cloud. Now, once you've migrated your workloads to the cloud, you can take advantage of the latest Intel and AMD processor technologies. This is with our new N2 and N2D general-purpose VM families. Okay? Compared to earlier N1 VMs, these offer higher performance, and the N2D VMs also provide increased memory bandwidth for your workloads. Now, let's talk about enterprise workloads. An important workload customers are migrating to Google Cloud is SAP. And for the last few years, we have been helping customers digitally transform their SAP environments. So let's take a look at one example customer with Metro.
Metro AG in Düsseldorf, Germany. We have about 150,000 people worldwide, 37 billion revenue. We are a B2B wholesale company, and we are acting in 35 countries. Scalability is our main challenge, but besides that, security, availability of the platform, also reliability is a major issue we're facing. The main reason why we've chosen Google Cloud is mainly due to the fact that we're looking for a technical feasible solution. Google is perfect in that sense. The other reason was that we were looking for a partner that is driving innovation. Now I think we are in a pretty stable situation. We have daily operations with Google. We have support from the office of the CTO on a regular basis. So a lot of services we get from Google, and also when it comes to innovation, product development. So it's a joint activity between Google and us, and I think that's a win-win situation.
All right. That's one of many great SAP stories we have with our customers. And to make migration even faster and easier, we're pleased to announce a comprehensive new program for our SAP customers called the Cloud Acceleration Program. This program includes SAP-focused enterprise support in collaboration with our partner community to speed up your migration to the cloud. Now, once your SAP applications are running in Google Cloud, you can take advantage of a full range of SAP-certified VMs, including our general-purpose N2, our memory-optimized M2, and our compute-optimized C2 families. These all offer high-performance options for running your SAP environments. And we have customers like Cardinal Health who are already live with our M2 memory-optimized VMs running with 12 terabytes of memory. And these VMs are perfect for production SAP HANA workloads. Now, to keep your SAP environments up and running, our VM live migration saves you millions in prevented downtime by keeping your applications running without disruption, even when Google performs hardware maintenance or rolls out security patches. And unlike other cloud providers, our live migration works for our entire VM fleet. It works across all of our VM families. Okay? Now, in addition, you can turn your SAP data into business insights by using Google Cloud's BigQuery for state-of-the-art data analytics and using AutoML for cutting-edge innovation in machine learning. So now I'd like to welcome Lucia on stage to show you how Google Cloud can save you time and money with automated SAP deployment and dynamic resizing. Lucia? Welcome.
Hi, everyone. SAP customers migrate to the cloud because they want to simplify their operations and be more agile. SAP is architected very differently from a lot of systems you might be familiar with. It's quite different in terms of architecture. And it's also quite complex. It powers your entire business. You cannot afford to have it go down. It's also not easy to provision a new SAP system with high availability. Even the most experienced administrators can make mistakes. And if you get it wrong, you won't know until your system goes down, and then it's too late. It's also hard to scale up and down a running SAP system. So if your business suddenly picks up, you might not be able to resize your system when you need it the most. Put those two things together, and you find that customers buy more infrastructure than they really need because they don't want to worry about running out of space or memory. So many customers choose to oversize their systems, which is expensive and wasteful. With Google Cloud, you can save yourself the headaches and the cash. You can easily set up an SAP high availability system in a few minutes using automated deployment templates on flexible virtualized architecture to resize on demand. With help from my friend Will, let's look at a typical deployment of an SAP HANA scale-up high availability cluster on Google Cloud. Within the Google console, we can see two virtual machines are active with the names HANA 1 and HANA 2. In our monitoring system, Google Stackdriver, we can see in the top left panel that HANA synchronous replication is active with HANA 1 as primary and HANA 2 as secondary. Let us see how you can automate an entire deployment like this one with just a few clicks in a few minutes using Google Cloud deployment templates. When we're done, we'll have a properly configured high availability system that meets all of SAP certification requirements. We can simply open the Cloud Shell, enter the deployment template configuration file, and execute it. Right now, in the background, Deployment Manager is downloading the SAP HANA media from a GCS bucket, installing SAP HANA on 2 virtual machines, setting up HANA synchronous replication, and configuring Pacemaker for clustering. All of this with one single line of code. Isn't that awesome? With traditional bare metal deployments, you don't have the same agility to spin up environments on demand. And the mistake during manual installation can leave your system vulnerable during a critical business event. But with Google Cloud SAP deployment templates, you can get started quicker, and you get best practice design by default. This takes about 30 minutes, so let's use a landscape we deployed earlier today. Now, what if you need to increase capacity? Maybe it's a busy time like financial month-end close, or you're doing awesome in the holiday sales season, and you need more power to process all of those sales orders. Let us show you how we can dynamically resize from a smaller virtual machine to a larger 12 terabyte HANA system with near zero business downtime. So back in the Google console, we have stopped our secondary HANA instance momentarily, so we can resize it while the primary instance continues to run our production environment. Then we select a new size for the secondary virtual machine. In this case, we'll choose 12 terabytes. We can save, and when we're ready, we can start the instance. You can see resizing happens immediately and takes just minutes on a virtualized architecture. Because the deployment template gave us high availability, we can use that to keep our system up while we add the memory that we need. Resizing also takes about a minute, so let's go back to an original deployment and trigger an event that will make our already resized system the primary. Again, near zero downtime. So we're resetting now. Let's go back to Stackdriver and make sure that we can see the magic and everybody understands what's going on here. So if you look at the top left panel, we can see in replication status that HANA 2 node took over as primary and is now running the system. And if you look at the bottom left panel, we see replication was interrupted when we stopped the secondary host to resize it, and then again when we reset the primary instance. In the top right panel, we see incoming transactions were not interrupted by shutting down the instance, but they did take a minor dip when we triggered takeover by restarting the primary host. And on the bottom right panel, we can also see the memory increase we just did is now available. In summary, Google Cloud delivers agility you need to run SAP without compromising availability. Specifically, we showed 2 very cool things. First, how to automatically deploy a highly available SAP-certified HANA system in minutes, not weeks. And second, how virtualized architecture allows you to dynamically resize for additional capacity on demand with near zero downtime. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucia. Thanks, Lucia. It's great to see the time and cost savings our customers can achieve from running and dynamically scaling SAP on Google Cloud. Now, in addition to SAP, our customers are looking to migrate their existing Oracle workloads onto Google Cloud. So we're excited to provide you with the ability to migrate your Oracle workloads onto bare metal servers with Google Cloud, letting you leverage your existing Oracle products and licenses. And lastly, for Windows workloads, we added Microsoft SQL Server to our Cloud SQL portfolio to provide you a fully managed Microsoft SQL Server with built-in high availability and security. And I'm happy to announce that SQL Server is now available in beta today. So we've covered how we help you migrate to the cloud. We covered important enterprise workloads. Now let's dive into how we bring it all together with networking. Networking availability, bandwidth, and security have to be in place to keep everything running as you expand your network from on-premise to cloud to multi-cloud. You need to have visibility into your network to quickly troubleshoot issues and to span all of these environments. So to achieve this, I'm very excited to announce the Network Intelligence Center. This is Google Cloud's new comprehensive network platform for monitoring, verification, and optimization. The Network Intelligence Center offers 2 solutions available in beta today: our connectivity tests and our network topology, with more to be added in the future. So our connectivity test lets you perform on-demand diagnostics so that you can troubleshoot outages by verifying network connectivity and pinpointing the specific issue. And with our network topology, you can visualize your network, simplify network monitoring and troubleshooting, and fulfill your SOC audit requirements. And our goal here is to allow you to navigate the visualization of your network with structure and insights. And Google Cloud is the first cloud provider to provide this holistically for your entire global network in the cloud. So now I'd like to invite Lakshmi on stage to show you all of this in action. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lakshmi Sharma, and I'm going to show you here how Network Intelligence Center can help you ensure connectivity and prevent outages. Google Cloud is the first cloud provider to use static config validation techniques and ensure connectivity and empower customers to go and verify the impact of your configuration changes and prevent outages in production and before production. Let's focus on VM migration in hybrid deployments. Hybrid deployments require different systems connected between on-prem and in GCP. Migrating virtual machines requires a lot of secure connectivity and private connectivity between on-premises and GCP systems. Configuration of such systems can be very complicated and is prone to errors, and hence could be very difficult to troubleshoot. Here, my colleague, Coyote, is going to create a simple test for troubleshooting connectivity from on-premise to GCP. He's going to click Save, save the test, go to another tab, and then you see that the test is complete. As you can see, we are able to see a detailed hop-by-hop packet trace through the network. You can click on any of these hops to see more details. If you look at the bottom, you will see that the traffic is being blocked, and as indicated by red. If you go to the previous hop, you will see this is being blocked because of a firewall rule. Now we can go directly from here to firewall page, and you saw that figuring out such a firewall-based blockage of your traffic only took 2 clicks for you to identify. Now, Coyote went to the firewall page. He will unblock the firewall rule, saves, go back to the page, reruns the test. While the test is running, I would like to emphasize that we do understand that network outages are business problems. And connectivity test is here to help you out solve your business problems related to network outages. Now, the test is complete, as you can see by the status green. And on the packet hop-by-hop trace, you can see that the traffic is complete. And your connectivity is there. With this, we are back to business. So this is how Network Intelligence Center helps you quickly diagnose connectivity and prevent outages. Now, let's move on to network topology. So network topology gives you a global visualization of your global network in GCP. As you can see, there are traffic entering from 3 different regions into your GCP instances: Americas, EMEA, and APAC. You can also see that drilling down into each of those regions, you will be able to see which specific country the traffic is coming from. You can also see all your regional load balancers deployed. On the bottom here, you can drill down to see your NAT instances, as well as all your GCE instances in that region. Many customers use network topology to validate their business and IT policies. For instance, let's say you have a policy that all your egress traffic needs to go through load balancers. So looking at this, you can identify that for this specific region, there's a traffic going directly to the geo region without going through the load balancer. That means you violated your IT policies. So another way you can use network topology is to proactively verify if the traffic is being served from the optimal region. In this scenario, traffic from APAC is being served from Asia East region. This will help you troubleshoot your performance and egress issues that may happen as a result of your egress being served out of a non-optimal region. And lastly, let's look at time machine. This time machine slider takes you back a couple of days and will give you the view of your topology at that time. And with this topology time machine, you can diagnose your issues which relate to configuration problems back in the time. For instance, if a network event happened, you can use this capability to look at the topology around that specific event and determine if the topology change was the reason for your network outage. During migration, it helps you monitor the state of your deployment as you migrate your workloads, and thus providing you visibility into your migration status. And it also helps you track your configuration while you're moving the topology, while you're moving the workload and the topology along with it. As your migration completes, you can go and click the project aggregation status. And then here you see all your projects and all your VPCs in that organization in one place. So once you have completed your migration, you can get the consolidated view of your topology. This is how network topology helps you with proactive monitoring, troubleshooting, optimization, and verification of policies. Thank you so much. Thank you, Coyote. And over to Brad.
Thanks, Lakshmi. So we're excited to get the Network Intelligence Center into your hands, and we know it's going to have a huge impact on your migration and modernization efforts. We've heard great feedback from several customers like Kochava, who have used this product and already see significant reductions in troubleshooting their network. Now, I have one more exciting networking announcement for you today. Many of you have public IP addresses with applications tied to those addresses. You've built products and infrastructure around these addresses, and there's business value in preserving these addresses as you migrate to the cloud. And that's why we're introducing Bring Your Own IP, which allows you to preserve your addresses and bring them to Google Cloud. And Google Cloud is the first cloud provider to have this available across every region. And we're the first one to give you the flexibility to allocate IP address blocks as small as 16 addresses per region. On top of that, Google Cloud is the first cloud provider that allows you to use a single global Anycast IP to route your user traffic to the closest backend server when bringing your own IP. So we work closely with several customers like Bitly on their cloud migration for Bring Your Own IP. And this was critical for them. This allowed them to bring their application without changing code and keeping their well-established IP addresses that their customers had already taken a dependency upon. This allowed them to minimize risk, downtime, and toil with their migration and reduce their networking infrastructure costs. So in addition, they also used Anycast with Google's global network, resulting in improved performance with a 50% reduction in latency, connection time, and download time. So as you can see, we are heavily investing to deliver the modern infrastructure that you need for today's and tomorrow's workloads. And we're excited to have you leverage our new capabilities for your digital transformation journey. So just to recap, for migration, we have new solutions so that you can seamlessly migrate your workloads into Google Cloud. And we're very excited to welcome Cloud Simple to the Google family, providing faster and easier migration of VMware workloads to Google Cloud. And for enterprise workloads, we have new VM families, support for Oracle, and new capabilities for SAP and SQL Server. And for networking, we're introducing the Network Intelligence Center with Bring Your Own IP to make sure your workloads can best leverage Google's global network. So thank you for your time today. I look forward to making you successful in your journey to the cloud. Now I'd like to welcome Sudhir on stage to talk about Google's smart analytics. Thank you.
I'm super excited to be here, and especially it was so inspiring to see all the organizations yesterday telling their stories of how they're becoming more data-driven, transforming their businesses with Google Cloud. As organizations are becoming more data-driven, there are a few key challenges that they have. One, the size of data within organizations is growing really fast. Second, they need to derive intelligent insights from this large-scale data sets that they have. And finally, and most importantly, make these insights available to everybody within their organizations. For this, at Google Cloud, we have the most comprehensive and performant smart analytics platform in the industry. You can collect data both in streaming fashion as well as batch. You can collect billions of events every day and go ahead and process them in real time. We have both capabilities to go collect and process these events with open source technologies that you may want to have, or cloud native services that are highly scalable for you to use. You can also store this data in different kind of storage formats. You can have structured, unstructured, semi-structured data sets that you can store. You can store them in our data lake with GCS or in our data warehouse with BigQuery. You can leverage different engines. For example, you can use BigQuery with its SQL engine to go ahead and analyze data, both on data lake as well as in your data warehouse. And you can go ahead and use Spark or Flink or different open source technologies to analyze data across all of these platforms. And finally, you can understand the data using various of our technologies, including Google Sheets. You can leverage various BI tools within the organization and also use our cloud AI technologies that are available. There are three key reasons why organizations pick Google Smart Analytics Platform. One, we have a highly scalable data warehousing solution with BigQuery. Second, we have a highly differentiated real-time analytics capability. And third, our embedded AI and machine learning capability is really unique. So let's talk about each one of them one by one. So first, let's talk about highly scalable data warehousing. Traditionally, the challenge within organizations was organizations had data warehouses in their environments. Growing with data within these environments was really expensive, really difficult. So what did people do? They summarized the data, they aggregated it, tried to keep as less data as possible within the data warehouses, and used it only for reporting, dashboarding for very few within the organization. So what happened with the rest of the data? Moved it into the data lake. And what does that do? It creates data silos within organizations. We are breaking those silos with Google Cloud. BigQuery allows you to go ahead and store massive scale data sets within its environment when you have structured data. We have customers that are creating data marts that are few terabytes, and we have other organizations that are leveraging BigQuery to run their whole business on top of BigQuery, where we have like tens to hundreds of petabytes of data within their environments. Few of the key things. One interesting fact, one of our customers actually did one of the largest queries that has been run on BigQuery, had 100 trillion rows in it. Fascinating stuff. Other than that, what we have also enabled this year is we know organizations want to analyze data, not just with SQL, but various different forms of engines that are available. And we have enabled organizations to run Spark jobs directly against BigQuery data, structured data, which just opens up completely different worlds for you to go ahead and leverage. In addition, BigQuery also allows you to go ahead and query data that may be in Parquet or ORC files within your data lakes. So that expands completely different opportunities for you. A great example of this is HSBC. HSBC is basically, they have one of the largest banks. They have 40 million customers. They do roughly $1.5 trillion worth of payment transactions every day. They have petabytes of data within their environment. And they perform liquidity and capital reporting on top of Google Cloud. This is a super critical application that they run. It needs to be highly available across multiple regions. And they're using BigQuery and Dataproc to go ahead and do all the processing and reporting that every day for the various organizations they need to. So great example of not just reporting and dashboarding being done on top of our analytics platform, but expanding it to real tier 1, tier 2 applications that are super critical for organizations. Switching gears, let's talk about number 2, streaming. By 2025, 30% of data is going to be generated in streaming form, according to IDC. But we believe at Google, majority of the decisions within organizations will be made on this data. So out of the box, our streaming analytics platform enables you to, one, collect and process data in real time, and scale with the data flow. And the main capability that data flow provides is it will auto-scale with the amount of data that you're collecting and without you having to do any kind of operational maintenance on it. The second thing you can do is you can actually ingest this large-scale streaming data directly into BigQuery. As Thomas mentioned yesterday, we have expanded our ability to go ahead and collect data in streaming form in BigQuery by 10x earlier this year. And this means you can do millions of events per second directly into a data warehouse without impacting the query performance on top of BigQuery. One of our customers, Spotify, one of our earliest customers, Spotify, has been using the platform for a few years now. They were one of our earliest adopters. They actually collect hundreds of billions of events every day. They basically use this to go ahead and make royalty payments for their artists, so real-time streaming events coming globally, processing it, making sure you calculate exact royalties for the artists. That's one example. But they're also using the same platform to go ahead and provide highly personalized experiences for their users. They have a Wrapped campaign that goes on every end of the year, and they're driving all of that using the same platform that's being used to analyze the data. Our third key capability is our embedded AI and machine learning within our data warehousing environment. So historically, what happens is you basically have your data warehousing systems and your machine learning systems. And what do? You take the data from your data warehouse, figure out what columns you need, you export it and move it to your machine learning environment, and then you realize, oh, the couple of columns that were not right, or you had to do different kind of transformation, and you're just moving data between systems. And that's not the most efficient way of doing things. So our thing was, how do you change the paradigm in this space? And so instead of taking data to machine learning engines, with BigQuery ML, we are bringing the whole machine learning engine inside the data warehouse. With just like few lines of code, or actually 2 lines of code, you can create machine learning models directly inside BigQuery. You can do various type of regression models, but this year we have also enabled you to create matrix factorization for recommendations. You can do clustering for segmentation and various different kinds of models. A great example of this is Qubit. Qubit actually provides personalized e-commerce experiences for iconic brands across the world. They have moved to our modern smart analytics platform. They collect clickstream data that's being processed at scale with data flow. BigQuery machine learning is used for creating models, and then they can go ahead and deploy it in production. The things that used to take them weeks to do, now they can create these models within a day and put it into production and try out different kind of models. So the velocity of change that they can go through is really high, improving their efficiency across the system. Our key theme around investments is radical simplicity. I talk about making everything simple across our platform so that users, it's easier for users to go ahead and use our platform. We are building intuitive, intelligent, and integrated smart analytics platform. Just this year, we have launched more than 50 key capabilities in the platform. We are making it easier for you to migrate your enterprise data warehouses to BigQuery on Google Cloud. Not just migration tooling we're providing them, but we're actually making it easy to derive intelligent insights from the platform. Today, I want to announce a few of the key capabilities that we have enabled for you. First of all, we're announcing the beta of Connected Sheets. I love Connected Sheets. It's basically a spreadsheet experience with G Suite Sheets in front of BigQuery. You can take billions of rows and actually use sheets to go ahead and analyze it. You can basically do pivots, sorts, write functions. You can create visualizations. And as usual, you can actually collaborate across your organization with the sheet. You can share it and all. The second key announcement is data fusion. We are announcing earlier this year, around April in San Francisco, we announced beta of data fusion. We are now going GA. That means you can now start putting the product in production, start using it to go ahead and create code-free data integration environments. You can build complex data pipelines with 0 lines of code with data fusion. And more importantly, today we are also announcing availability in beta of our data lineage capability. Finally, earlier this year, we announced intent to acquire Looker. Looker has been a great partner for us. We have a lot of joint customers. And they provide 3 key capabilities. They have a great semantic modeling layer. So you can basically define common metrics for your organization. Second, they have great enterprise BI capabilities. And finally, they enable you to go ahead and build data applications on top of your enterprise data. With that, let me invite Anita to bring some of these capabilities to life with a demo. Thank you.
Thanks, Sudhir. Hello, everyone. I think you'd all agree that revenue performance is the lifeblood of any business. Now, let's imagine you're a business leader in a large organization that's grown over the years, both organically and through acquisitions. Your footprint is broad, and your data is big. You are responsible for making sound business decisions with the most freshest and most accurate data. In order to have a 360-degree view of your business, you need to be able to bring in data from multiple sources, both internal and external. And that's what data fusion is all about. Data fusion is a fully managed and cloud-native data integration service for building pipelines. And it has 100+ out-of-the-box connectors. Let's take a look at how data fusion shifts your team's focus away from infrastructure. In the data fusion UI, you can see multiple pipelines bringing in data. If we're to click into one of them, you can quickly see that these pipelines can get pretty broad and actually pretty complex. Multiple input sources and multiple transformations. Now let's zoom into one simple pipeline that's bringing in data from an SAP HANA instance that's running on Google Cloud. The 4 boxes on your left show you the different input sources, and the blue boxes show you the different transformations. And finally, we see that data landing in BigQuery. The power of data fusion is that all of this is being done without a single line of code. Now let's talk about BigQuery. I'm sure Sudhir already introduced it, but BigQuery is Google Cloud's petabyte-scale enterprise data warehouse. It is fully managed and serverless, which means you can focus on insights instead of managing infrastructure. Now let's go into the BigQuery UI to see all the data we've brought in. You can see it on the left. If we're to click into the aggregate financials table, you could quickly see that this table is pretty broad with 1.1 billion rows. BigQuery allows organizations to run analytics at virtually any scale. In order to have a 360-degree view of your business, one KPI you might want to track is revenue by region and by partner. And naturally, a data analyst could do this using standard SQL, and then visualize them with executive dashboards like Looker, Tableau, Qlik, or others. But what about those who aren't familiar with SQL? Let's see how your business analyst can explore this data in connected sheets. From the BigQuery UI, click on Explore in Sheets dropdown. It's worth calling out that connected sheets brings together the power of BigQuery with familiarity of sheets in just one click. And what's happening in the background is pretty amazing if you think about it. You're taking the full table in BigQuery and making a live connection to that familiar spreadsheet interface. And for the purposes of the demo, we already made the connection. And you can see the same table, 1.1 billion rows. It's that simple and powerful. And now you can actually start to use traditional spreadsheet functionalities like charts, pivot tables, and functions all across your BigQuery dataset. Let's take a look at some of the few KPIs you're tracking and see how each region is doing. Right away, you can see that there's something wrong with the JAPAC region. The reseller revenue seems to be a little bit off. You'd like to share this sheet with one of your colleagues in finance so they can also see the analysis as well. For that, you'll just click on the share button above and also off your running. You need to find out what's going on with this metric. We've all been there, debugging a metric that just doesn't make sense. And this is where Lineage by Data Fusion comes in. And Sudhir just talked about it. We know that the data powering this chart is from the aggregate financials table that's actually in BigQuery. Let's find the table in Data Fusion. Now let's take a look at the lineage. This is a high-level view of the lineage, and you can see the aggregate financials data set. But we're not interested in a high-level view. Let's drill into the field-level lineage to understand what's happening. We know that the JAPAC revenue for resellers is off. Let's take a look at how we're calculating revenue. There it is. It looks like for JAPAC, we're dividing revenue by 1,000, and this should not be the case. And this is actually what's impacting that data. Now you can correct that transformation, rerun that pipeline, and sync it back into BigQuery. To save time, we already reprocessed the data. It's already landed in BigQuery, where it's connected to Sheets. And now let's see how our chart now looks. As you can see, now the JAPAC revenue is now within the right threshold. You've just now seen a few of the powerful new capabilities we've been building into our Smart Analytics platform. We looked at lineage in Data Fusion, the scale of BigQuery, and how we're democratizing insights with connected sheets. And with that, thank you, and I'd like to welcome Sudhir back to the stage.
Thank you, Anita. That was an awesome demo. I'm super excited about the data lineage capability that we are announcing today, especially ability to go ahead and have field-level lineage to do your root cause analysis of your pipelines, but more importantly, satisfy your needs for compliance across the whole data pipelines is going to be a key benefit for all the organizations. With that, it's important what we deliver from Google itself, but we have a very important partner ecosystem. They're delivering key capabilities across the data lifecycle. One of the major announcements we want to make today is availability of Informatica's intelligent cloud services beta on the GCP marketplace. So if you are interested in using integration technology from Informatica, now you can just directly go to the marketplace with few clicks, start using it for your various data integration needs. Other than that, we have 100+ leading technology partners that provide various capabilities around business intelligence, data integration, analytics, and all. And I think as you're investing a lot in these partners, we are working closely with them to make sure we can satisfy your needs that you have within your organizations. With that, let me actually invite Ignacio, CIO of Vodafone, on the stage to share what they're doing at Vodafone. Hello, Ignacio. How are you?
Very well.
Good.
Super.
Thank you for being here. Can you first share with us what your team does, what you do at Vodafone?
No, absolutely. Thank you for having me here. And Vodafone is one of the largest mobile companies in the world. We serve over 600 million customers, which is double of the US population, more or less, to give a context. We have operations in 24 countries, and we reach 44 with our partner markets. But we are more than a mobile company. We also have broadband, 37 million. We have TV services. We are very large in IoT for consumer and enterprise, and we have a big number of products and services for our customers.
Awesome. So operating at such a scale, what were the key data challenges that you had within your organization?
I don't think that we have time to describe all of them, but I will go for a few of them. So first is the volume of the data. We process around 2,700 petabytes of data in a single year, And for example, optimizing our network to give the best service to our customers is fundamental. But that's not the only one. We have a lot of legacies. We have been growing inorganically with acquisitions, and means that we have a lot of systems, a lot of data warehouses, and that is difficult. It's broken, the data, it costs a lot of money, and we cannot provide innovation, and we cannot be very fast. So that will be the second one. I think that the third one is how do we get a back office streamline operations almost touchless. We have 100,000+ employees, and we want them to be excited to be doing a job that means something for ourselves. And I think that this really is our core problem.
That's amazing. You said 2,700 petabytes. That's amazing.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So can you share why you chose to partner with Google Cloud?
No, absolutely. I mean, it was a very thorough process. And the first thing is your heritage in data. I mean, you have been doing this all your life, and now you're making available your hardware and your software, all of your applications that you have been describing for us. So absolutely, that is the #1 thing. But it's not the only one. The second one will be your innovation. I mean, you have a proven track record of innovating and delivering products very often. The third one, and it's the one that I like the most, is the ways of working and collaboration and co-creation. You were naming some of the things that you're doing with data fusion and some of the challenges that we're having. And I'm not going to describe what we are doing here because it's private for the moment. But you, in 6 months, are already providing proper solutions to us. And that is amazing. So it feels good.
And especially data silos within organization, as you said, are so much of a problem. And with data fusion, I think you will solve some of those challenges
Look,
you have.
I can tell you one of the countries, only in there we have 6 data warehouses, massive. Everything that you were explaining about the inflexibility, about how you have to aggregate data because it's growing too much, how you cannot really get insight. If you have a problem, then you need to pay an analyst and wait for a week. That guy will download the information in Excel, try to process, put it in a PowerPoint. Someone will manipulate the PowerPoint, and you have the wrong answer. Too late. And that is something that we are in a mission to eliminate complexity, eliminate all the legacies, be simple, focus all our energy in our customers.
Perfect. Thank you, Ignacio. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Perfect. Bye-bye.
And with that, I would like to invite Andrew Moore to go ahead and share some of our innovations in cloud AI. Thank you. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. We find ourselves at the start of a new chapter in artificial intelligence. It's real. It works. And at Google, our strategy now is all about getting it deployed at scale, safely, in all businesses and organizations around the world. We believe there is no one-size-fits-all for successful AI. There's 2 main entry points. If you're a builder, then you need specific tools to help you create brand new custom AIs. And let me emphasize, the world really needs you to build them. We all are together in creating this new generation of AIs, and for us, it's all about empowering you to build them. However, there's also business decision makers who need to use end-to-end AI solutions. And so we've also been working very hard on those. I'm going to talk about both of these cases, the builders and the business decision makers. So let's begin with the business decision makers. A great example of a fully packaged end-to-end AI solution is contact center AI. And now contact center AI is generally available, and it brings our world-class conversational AI systems to call centers to allow the exact automation of many of the kind of interactions that go on with call centers. And even in the cases of the kind of conversations which are too complex for the AI to handle, the AI can still coach and aid the human call center operators in running successful and useful calls. Over and over again, we've seen this help provide exceptional customer service while increasing operational efficiency, leading to things like an increase in customer satisfaction agent satisfaction, and net promoter score for the customers who are using this. Unlike other offerings, Contact Center AI is integrated with global telephony providers that represent 74% of the market, which means that most of you can incorporate this kind of powerful end-to-end AI into your own operations today. Next, let's talk about the builders, the people who are going to build the new AIs. We have a responsibility to provide you with a very powerful platform to do this. You are the folks who are facing the most complex challenges and solving problems in brand new ways. We've spent a lot of time trying to analyze your needs as you're doing this, and we've used that insight to build the most sophisticated platform for AI development anywhere. At the foundation of this platform is our world-class infrastructure. This makes it possible to run your workload cost-effectively and with the best possible performance and scalability for massive-scale machine learning. We're the first and only cloud provider to design and deliver a custom-built AI chip to our customers. These are the TPU units, which have broken performance records for both training and serving your machine learning models, and is used by enterprises around the world. Open sourced by Google, TensorFlow, of course, is now one of the most popular machine learning frameworks in the world. But enterprise users have much higher demands and expectations than open source solutions for running large, reliable, and long-term sustainable machine learning workloads. To address these needs, we recently introduced TensorFlow Enterprise. This is the first of its kind service to offer enterprise-level support for TensorFlow and give that continuity, extending version support for up to 3 years, providing a safety net and a longer lifetime for applications. Now, we're also devoted lots of energy to AutoML. Our AutoML products are great tools for builders. They can make it possible to quickly build high-quality machine learning models, all with minimal machine learning expertise. And a great example of this is AutoML was a competitor against more than 70 human teams in a big machine learning competition to predict equipment faults. And in this competition, AutoML came second, beating 70 human teams, and it did it with just 1 hour of effort. This is the kind of acceleration of machine learning builder productivity that we're trying to help out with. One example of the use of AutoML is News UK. They use AutoML natural language to better manage and target content, which includes hundreds of thousands of new articles every year. AutoML natural language helps them identify which content customers are engaging with so that they can understand how to improve that content, make it more relevant. And now more of the AutoML products are generally available. This includes AutoML translation and AutoML vision. AutoML can be the very building blocks of your own customized solution. We have new AutoML natural language capabilities like entity extraction, classification, and translation, and these can now be combined to help you analyze documents like invoices, contracts, and many other classes of documents. We call this Document AI, and it makes the most common enterprise processes much more effective than before. Now, this is something I'm personally very passionate about. As organizations adopt AI, it's getting really important to ensure quality, safety, and interpretability with that AI. AI must be able to explain itself. We see this across almost every industry. To close this gap, as Thomas announced yesterday, we're introducing a collection of tools to help create safe, inclusive, fair models. We call this explainable AI. AI explanations provides insights to things like which features are impacting your predictions in particular scenarios most effectively, And it can be applied both for our AutoML suite of products and for our AI platform machine learning algorithms. So the builder can see a visual representation or an explanation of how much each factor contributed to the prediction. Examples of customers who are using this with success are Sky, iRobot, and Wellio. So let's see how explainable AI looks in practice. Please welcome Sarah Robinson onto the stage.
Thanks, Andrew. Explanations helps you understand how the inputs to your model affect its prediction. They can be used with all kinds of models and data, including images, natural language, and tabular data with numerical and categorical fields. Let's start with images. First, I'm going to show you a simple example so you understand how explanations is useful for model builders. Then we'll look at a healthcare use case. I'll be demoing all of this from Cloud AI Platform notebooks. Here's a model that classifies different types of flowers. We'll send 2 flower images to our model for prediction. Looks like our model classified both of these flowers correctly. But what caused our model to make these predictions? Explanations can tell us which features were most important to even the most complex neural network. I can get explanations from any TensorFlow model deployed on Cloud AI Platform using the Prediction API. For image models, explanations helps us better understand which pixels in this image contributed most to our model's prediction. In this case, we're using explanations to validate that our model is performing correctly and generalizing on the right image attributes. From these explanations, we can see that our model is able to pick up on the shapes that are specific to these types of flowers. To look at how explanations can be used by model consumers, let's see how they can be applied in a real-world example. I also have a model that can classify images from eye screenings to determine if a patient has diabetic retinopathy, or DR, a condition that can lead to blindness if not caught early. This is an image of an eye with proliferative DR, which is the worst form. Without explanations, our model can correctly classify this as proliferative. But for a doctor confirming a diagnosis, a classification alone may not be enough. They likely need to know what led the model to make this prediction. Here is what our explanation service returns for this image. It is highlighting the areas on the retina which are indicative of this condition and helps focus the doctor's attention for a faster diagnosis. So now that you've seen how explanations works on images to help both model builders and end users, let's take a look at a model trained on tabular data, the most common type of data for businesses. For this example, let's say you're managing a bike sharing company and you need to decide how many bikes to have in circulation. We need to guess how long each bicycle might be in use. So let's predict the duration of bike share trips, given data like trip distance, start time, and weather data for the given day. We've trained the model by joining 2 public data sets available in BigQuery, London bike share data and weather. Here is some data on a bike trip that took 11 minutes. Let's send it to our cloud model and see what it predicts for trip duration. Looks like our model got pretty close. It predicted 10.71 minutes compared to the actual duration of 11. But what caused the model to predict 10.71 minutes? Here is what explanations returns for this particular example. These attribution values are all relative to the model's baseline prediction, which is what the model predicted for the median across all of our input values. Attributions with high magnitude were most important to our model. Positive attributions increased the predicted trip duration from the baseline, and negative values decreased it. So here we can see that the start hour of the trip decreased the model's prediction by about 1 minute. We could then use this to optimize bike availability based on insights across variables like time of day and weather. But as a model builder, it would be nice if there were a better way to see what explanations returns. The best way to visualize explanations for tabular data is with the what-if tool, an open source tool for visualizing the explanations on our Cloud AI Platform model directly in a notebook. Let's try it out. Here on the x-axis, we see the predicted trip duration for all of our test values. When we click on a dot, We can look at the feature values for an individual example. We can also see the attribution values returned from cloud explanations for each input. For this trip, it looks like the distance and max temperature influence the model's prediction the most. The what-if tool also lets us change these values and rerun prediction to see how the updated values influence what the model will predict. So let's try changing max temperature to 10 degrees Celsius, rerunning prediction, and see how this affects our model output. Looks like it decreased the model's predicted trip duration by about 2 minutes. AI Explanations is ready for nearly any kind of model across a variety of industries, from identifying important pixels in medical images, to highlighting critical words in sentiment analysis, to showing reason codes for asset valuations. We're excited for you to try out Explainable AI on Google Cloud. And with that, I'd like to welcome Andrew back to the stage.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm so thrilled that we are now able to start using these kind of explainability tools generally. Explainable AI is also coming to many more of our AI products soon. You can get started with Explainable AI at this link. So to summarize, Google Cloud offers the full spectrum of AI for customers like these to build custom AI and also to build industry-specific solutions. So your company can be at the forefront of today's digital transformation. Next, I'd like to introduce David Thacker, VP of Product and Design for G Suite, to talk about how they're helping businesses transform the way they work. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm David Thacker, and I'm responsible for product and design for G Suite. I'm really excited to be here today to share the progress we've made over the last year towards our mission of helping transform the way businesses work. G Suite includes products that over 1.5 billion people use, products like Gmail, Google Docs, and Drive, as well as our enterprise messaging and video conferencing products, Chat and Meet. G Suite also empowers over 90 million students and educators to learn and collaborate together in schools all around the world. And we've now reached over 5 million paying businesses, with 1 million businesses added in the past year alone. G Suite customers include established market leaders like Carrefour, Roche, and Fiat Chrysler, who you heard from yesterday, as well as digital innovators like Deliveroo, Ocado, and Spotify, who built their businesses with the help of G Suite. And increasingly, organizations with large frontline workforces are turning to G Suite to transform how all of their employees can work together, not just their office workers. One example is Buurtzorg, a healthcare firm in the Netherlands, using G Suite to rethink traditional models like home care. Let's take a look at their story in this video.
I was called by one of the caregivers. She saw this wound and she didn't know what to do. It was already 4 p.m. and I had to go to another client. I was thinking, oh, don't ask me any questions. Just let me treat the wound and let me go out. You close the door, literally in their face. I was back in my car and I was thinking, what am I doing? This is not nursing. For me, that was a turning point, and I had to quit my job there.
Before I became a nurse, I studied economics. So I said, why are we doing this way? We called it buurtzorg because we had to focus on neighborhoods, and buurt means neighborhood.
It's going back to the principle that a community nurse is taking care of the community. We want to focus on our clients, so the less we can spend on the administrative tasks, the better.
They advised me to move over to G Suite. The G Suite really helps in our way of practicing our principles, spend the time on the necessary things, on taking care of the patients on one hand, and also developing new knowledge on the other hand.
You can easily share documents. We share screens so we can see what we are doing. This freedom brings up the best way of working. So you really can take time. You have to take time to invest in your client, to have a coffee once in a while and to talk with each other and to build up a relationship. Within Buurtzorg, we think keep it as simple as possible, and that's what G Suite is also doing.
These businesses are moving to G Suite to fully transform not only their culture, but positively impact their business. According to a recent Forrester Total Economic Impact study, customers moving to G Suite saw efficiency improvements equivalent to saving each employee 21 workdays a year. And in security, companies reduced the risk of a data breach by over 95%, by helping teams work faster, smarter, and more collaboratively. Faster, because improved speed helps you turn your ideas into products and services. Smarter, because you need to be able to harness your company data to make better business decisions. And together, because a truly collaborative culture is the backbone of any successful business. G Suite is the place for work collaboration where teams can keep projects moving forward without the distraction and fragmented experience of legacy tools. Now, to take a look at how teams use G Suite today, I'd like to invite my colleague Ulrike on stage to give us a demo.
Thank you, David. Hello, I'm Ulrike. I'm from the customer engineering team here in EMEA. I'm joined on stage by my colleague, Dominic. We're excited to show you today how G Suite can help your teams to get important projects moving from a single browser window. In this demo, Dominic will act as a business line owner of a global manufacturing company. Dominic's team is tasked with a very tight deadline. The team is facing a presentation for an executive-level business review. So they have to move fast to prepare for the meeting. Right, we better get started. Like most G Suite users, Dominic starts his day in Gmail. First, he checks his calendar on the side panel, which reminds him that the presentation practice is today. Dominic will ask a status update from his team in their chat group, and he will be doing that from within Gmail. Let's take a closer look. This chat room makes it easy to keep track of conversations, but also shared files without leaving Gmail. Looks like the presentation is nearly finished, but it could use some design work. And for that, we need to add our designer. Ben is a designer with an external account. So Dominic will add him to the chat room by using the same simple workflow he would use with any regular colleague. Other tools require you to go through multiple steps and add guest accounts before you can actually start interacting with that person. That leads to wasted time, frustration. Notice on the chat room as well, actually the external badge. It helps your team to be mindful of what they want to share with external partners. Great. Dominic now needs to also give Ben access to the presentation. Chat makes it really simple. Dominic simply pastes the link of the presentation and confirms that he would like to give automatic access to everyone in the room, including guest users. This way, G Suite helps you to stay in control of what you share with your partners outside. Right, while Ben is polishing the deck, we go back and check Dominic's email. At the top of his email, there's a note from Max about the presentation. Let's see what's it about. As you can see, and this is not a regular email, this is a dynamic email, reflecting a common thread from slides. Dynamic email lets you respond to a comment within the app that you're currently inside email. So let's see how this works from both Max's and Dominic's perspective. Dominic can go ahead and respond. Seems like everything looks great on the numbers, so Dominic can go ahead and respond. Max will see that on the screen in real time. Dominic can also now go ahead and resolve the comment in his email, and it will hide the comment thread directly on Max's screen. Unified experiences like this allows you to save time. It allows you to act quickly without ever leaving the tools you're in. Now is also a good time for Max and Dominic to quickly review the flow of the presentation. they would normally need to schedule a call and switch to a conferencing tool or dial into a bridge. This can take longer than the actual call itself. Let's be clear about that. But next year, Gmail will enable you to jump on quick calls without scheduling. So Max is available now, and we're calling him using the Meet experience in Gmail. Just like that, Dominic and Max are in a call without ever leaving Gmail. G Suite removes all the friction of scheduling calls in a meeting, so you cannot just focus on doing great work. Looks like they're ready to go for the presentation. So as you saw, G Suite unifies emailing, chat, calling in one place. No more context switching, battling noise, or distraction that you would get with legacy tools. G Suite experience brings it closer to your teams, it brings them together, and it helps them to get more done really faster. And with that, I hand it back to David.
Thanks, Ulrike and Dominic. Now that we've shown you how this works in the product today, I'd like to share some new things we've been building to help people work together in faster and smarter ways. Many of us spend a lot of time writing at work, whether it's composing emails, composing documents, which is why we continue to build intelligent features to make it easier to write high-quality content faster in G Suite. For example, we introduced grammar corrections in docs earlier this year, and we now surface over 100 million intelligent grammar suggestions each week. We'll soon start powering these suggestions with cutting-edge neural network technology to help users catch even more grammatical errors. Last year, we also introduced Smart Compose in Gmail, which uses Google AI to suggest complete sentences, making it faster and easier to write error-free. Since then, Smart Compose in Gmail has saved people from typing over 2 billion characters each week. Now, today I'm excited to share that we're bringing the power of Smart Compose to docs, as you heard in yesterday's keynote. It not only makes writing faster, but improves quality by removing spelling and grammatical errors and helping you complete legible sentences from a raw thought. It's like having a personal writing assistant, and you get to decide when to listen to it. Smart Compose in Docs is available in beta today. We're also exploring ways that assistive features in AI can remove friction from everyday tasks to help teams get more done. And we've been working on bringing the Google Assistant to G Suite. I'm excited to share several new capabilities today, which are now in beta. First, you'll be able to use the Google Assistant to see what's on your G Suite calendar. You'll also be able to create, cancel, and reschedule meetings, send quick email messages, and dial into meetings. The Google Assistant is especially powerful in hands-free contexts, like when you're on the go commuting to and from work. Now I'd like to invite one of our product leads, Jennifer, up on stage to show you a live demo of this in action.
G Suite and the Google Assistant help me get more done throughout the day with ease. Today, I left work a little bit early to get to a doctor's appointment, but I still have a few things to wrap up for work. Luckily, I have the Google Assistant with me to help me get that done. I think I have one last call to help the team prep for a big upcoming project. Hey, Google, what's next on my calendar?
Next up, you have Project Next Lead Sync today at 4 p.m.
Dial into it.
Calling into the meeting Project Next Lead Sync.
And just like that, I was able to call into my meeting right from my commute. But before closing out for the day, I want to make sure my calendar is good to go for tomorrow. My calendar is always shifting around, but the Google Assistant can help me stay on top of it, hands-free, so that I can stay focused on driving. What's on my calendar tomorrow?
There are 5 entries for tomorrow. First up tomorrow, you have weekly team check-in at 8 a.m. Here's the rest.
Darn, I need to drive my kids to school tomorrow. I'm going to have to move this 8 a.m. meeting. Send an email to my first meeting tomorrow.
Email to Project Next Lead Sync, sure. What's the message?
Sorry, team, I need to reschedule this.
Sorry, Tim, I need to reschedule this.
Close enough.
It will be sent from your account, jennifer@inc-42.com. Do you want to send it or change it?
Send it.
Sending your email to Project Next Lead Sync.
I love that I can quickly message everyone right in the moment without needing to remember to do this later when I'm not driving. But beyond just telling everybody about the change, how about we actually reschedule this meeting? The Google Assistant can help me do that. We're going to put my colleague Adam's calendar on the screen as well, so you can get a feel for what he sees. Reschedule my weekly team meeting.
That's update weekly team check-in, currently at 8 a.m. Right?
Right.
Sure, weekly team check-in. Everybody is available tomorrow at 10 a.m. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay, I'll reschedule the event for tomorrow at 10 a.m. Do you want to send an update to guests?
Yes, please.
Okay, I rescheduled it and sent an update.
The Google Assistant was able to find a time that works for me and everybody else on the meeting. And you can see that it moved from 8 to 10 on Adam and everybody else's calendar. I've tied up all my loose ends for the day, and I'm ready to go for tomorrow with the help of my Google Assistant. Now I can disconnect for the evening. G Suite and the Google Assistant work together to help me get more done throughout the day so that I can focus on the things that really matter, both at work and at home. Thank you. Back to David.
Thanks, Jennifer. That's pretty magical, right? I can't wait for you all to get to use it. You can now download this today as a part of the beta. As you've heard and seen today, G Suite can help your teams work faster, smarter, and more collaboratively. Many of you are thinking about how you can future-proof your enterprise. I'd encourage you to give your employees access to the best productivity tools to stay ahead. Digital transformation starts with real change, and I hope you'll join us on this journey. If you're interested in learning more, come see our G Suite Spotlight session this afternoon, where you'll hear from PwC on their move to G Suite, and you'll see some of our other product innovations we're working on. Next, I'd like to welcome John Jester to the stage to talk about our customer experience investments. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I'm John Jester, and I'm delighted to have a few minutes to talk to you about customer experience. It's great to be in London. I lived here 2010 to 2014, so it's been great seeing familiar faces, catching up with many of you. But I've just hit the 6-month mark at Google Cloud after almost 20 years at Microsoft. And I've spent my time getting out, meeting many of you, trying to talk to our customers and understand your expectations from Google Cloud. How can we help you? What do you need to make the bet on Google as your strategic partner? And there's been a couple consistent themes that have emerged. The first is you're excited about our innovative technology. Everything from what we can do on big data, analytics, machine learning, and AI to help you really unlock the value of the data you have in your business, to our innovative multi-cloud solution with Anthos, where we can help you in hybrid scenarios, running on-prem in your data center, as well as the Google Cloud, but even taking that to multiple clouds. And while you're excited about that innovation, you're excited about that technology, you've been very, very clear with me that we have to do better when it comes to giving you prescriptive and proactive guidance on how to use our solutions, that we have to give you the right levels of enterprise support when you make the bet on Google. And it's clear to me that we have to invest more in customer experience, and we have to invest more in your success. And that's what I'd like to take you through. Are these investments? What are we doing to help make you successful on Google Cloud? The first area of focus is really around professional services. These are our consultants that we send on site with you to help you build applications, move workloads to the cloud. We're investing in helping them scale the implementation of horizontal and vertical solutions that you've heard about the past few days. We also have customers saying, we want to bet on Google as our digital transformation partner. And we have a different expectation for the type of engagement we have in that scenario. So we're investing in a digital transformation practice to help you. Now, that's always being done with our partners. You've heard about some of the partnerships we've announced. That's a critical part of how Google works with you. The second pillar is really about support. And there's three things that everyone has pushed me on when it comes to supporting you. The first is that we need to have the right enterprise support offers. So we're bringing a new set of offers to market in January. You're going to see mission-critical capabilities included, and you're going to see a lot of proactive services. An example of that is Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We have over 35 retailers running on Google Cloud who are working with us in a very proactive way. We're reviewing their architecture ahead of the event, we're doing performance testing, and we're even doing mock scenarios. We'll work through, hey, if there's a cloud outage or an application goes down, et cetera, how do we partner and work together? But that's an example of the investments we're making to really be an enterprise partner for you on the support side. The second thing that's come up consistently is you want to talk to an expert on your problem as quickly as possible. So we're deeply specializing our support engineers, 9 different specializations. So if you're trying to unlock value from your data, you'll talk to an expert on analytics, on machine learning or AI. If you're trying to understand how to configure your security options, you'll talk to a security expert right away. So deep specialization to help you when you need it. Then the third component here is setting up global support centers so that we have those engineers in your time zone speaking the right language to help you. Now, the third pillar is training and certifications. One of the big barriers that I see with cloud adoption is not having enough trained staff inside of our customers. So we're investing a lot in training, be that instructor-led, online training, or even more importantly, building interactive labs where your teams can get the hands-on experience before you're moving into production on our tools and technology. We then back that up with a set of certifications, 8 different certifications on Google Cloud, so you can validate the knowledge level of your teams. Now, the fourth pillar is really around customer success. How do we work with you to orchestrate your journey to the cloud? And at Google, when we talk about customer success, we're not just talking about technology adoption. What we're talking about is understanding your priorities, understanding why you chose Google. What are the business outcomes that you're trying to achieve? And we want to share those with you. And we want to define Google's success, not as just what products or services you use, but are you successful achieving your business outcome? That's our definition of customer success. Now, the fifth pillar is really around customer and partner experience. How do we do a better job of listening to you, our customers, our partners, and really creating a customer-centric Google Cloud across everything we do, from how we develop products, to how we engage with you, to how we provide support. This part is incredibly important as we evolve our business. We also have a set of customer advisory boards, role-based, CIOs, CISOs, as well as around our solutions. And in all of these boards, it's all about deeply listening to you and making sure that we're investing in the right place. I also want to invite all of you to come to our customer engagement centers. These are centers that we have where we can sit down, understand your priorities, share the Google Cloud roadmap, and really find projects that we can engage together and work on. So what you see across these 5 pillars is that we are committed to you and we're investing in your success. So we're tripling the size of our customer-facing organization over the coming years. That's not just our sales force, but it's customer experience, so that we're there to serve you and to make you successful. And I want you to know that when you choose Google Cloud, you have my commitment, you have my team's commitment that we're going to be there to make you successful. So with that, thanks again for the time, and please join me in welcoming Alan back to the stage. Alan.
Thanks, John. So helping our customers be successful is something that we as Googlers are absolutely passionate about. Now, I'm conscious we've shared a lot this morning. Hopefully you're as excited as we are about many of the great announcements we've made over the last couple of days around our product innovations, literally at all layers of the Google Cloud stack. Hopefully, we've also got some ideas sparking about new possibilities for your business or your industry. And that you see Google as super relevant no matter where you're at in your transformation journey. So look, thank you very much for joining us today. Please immerse yourself in the sessions that follow. Thanks also to our partners and our sponsors for putting your trust, and indeed all of you as customers for putting your trust in Google Cloud. Now, there are many Googlers around, hopefully with some voices left. So please come to us with your ideas. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, have a great day. Thank you.